Well, welcome everybody to our Team Wagner and Team Crane Zoom call. I'm so excited you guys joined us tonight. It's raining pretty hard here in South Florida, so I'm grateful to have a class from the comfort of my own home instead of having to drive out in this disgusting rain. Um, I hope that you guys all got on Zoom okay. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we're especially excited that you guys are here. This has been such a fun tool to use and to connect with lots of different team members from all over the place. So welcome. The topic today is keeping healthy during the cold and flu season, the fall and winter months that are just around the corner. It's kind of funny for us in South Florida to think about it because it's like 90 degrees outside, but my family is all sick this week, so it doesn't really matter where you live. The germs are going to attack you no matter what. So it's just wonderful to have these tools that doTERRA offers us to keep healthy. Um, just a little bit about myself. I know we have some guests on the call tonight. My name is Louisa, and Heather Wagner is going to be teaching with me tonight, and she'll introduce herself in a few minutes. But I have been using doTERRA for 2 years and about 10 months. I started with doTERRA January of 2014. I'm also a labor doula, and so I had been using essential oils in my labor doula practice for a little while. I didn't care too much about the quality of essential oils. I really cared about the price. So I really just was always looking for a great deal. But when I was introduced to doTERRA via a class in somebody's living room, and the lavender oil came around and I got to smell the lavender for the first time, it was just life-changing for me. Lavender is an oil that I had always used during labor just for its calming properties and just to help moms relax and stay peaceful, and just to help them even take a little cat nap during labor. And I just noticed how our lavender was just so different. And I was intrigued to why it was so different. And as the class went on, I came to find out that doTERRA does something a little bit different than other essential oil companies. doTERRA cares a lot about the quality of our essential oils. doTERRA means gift of the earth. And I love the name, and I think it's extremely appropriate because we go through great lengths to make sure that the quality of our oils is there. So what we've done is we've gone to over 50 countries around the world to source our oils. So like our lavender, it comes from the south of France. Our peppermint is from Washington. Our vetiver is from Haiti. Our melaleuca is from Australia, and so forth. And each oil has a special story. Through our nonprofit organization called Healing Hands, doTERRA has partnered with different farmers, growers, different communities to not only ensure that we have the best quality, but also to bless that community so that they're thriving and growing. And we have a safe and sustainable partnership with them. 80% of our oils are exclusive to doTERRA, which also makes us extremely unique. So if someone says, oh, I have that same oil in a different brand, it probably is not true because doTERRA has exclusive rights to a lot of the oils that are in our single oils and also in our blends. I want to talk a little bit about our testing. I don't want to go too much in depth because we have a lot of information to cover, but doTERRA does test all of our oils 7 different ways. We have in-house testing and third-party testing. So when you're using the oils with the babies, with the pregnant woman, with the elderly, with everyone in your family, even your furry animals, your furry babies, you can rest assured that they're safe. Because doTERRA goes through great lengths to make sure that there's no chemicals, there's no fillers, there's no toxins, there's nothing except for pure essential oil in our bottles. It's called Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, which is also exclusive to doTERRA. There's a few different ways we can use our oils. I love to use our oils every way that's available to me. I've seen great benefit in every way. So one of the ways that I love to use my oils are aromatically. There's a lot of us have diffusers in our home. Aromatically just means that we are receiving the benefits via aroma. Hold on, there's some people that are not muted. 1 second, bear with me. I keep muting and someone keeps unmuting themselves. Sorry. Okay, I think we're good now. So aromatically, that's just benefiting from the essential oils via aroma. So through our nose. Our nose is our strongest sense of our 5 senses. Have you ever smelt something and immediately takes you back to a memory? That's because when you smell things, you're connecting that scent to the part of your brain in our called our limbic system. That's just a really fancy word for basically our emotional center. That's where our mood is stored, our emotions, our memories, our ability to focus, even our ability to sleep is all in that part of our brain. So even just taking a bottle and taking nice deep breaths is extremely powerful. You can not only change the mood, but even erase certain memories or trauma or stress that goes on in that part of our brain. So just breathing in the oils is extremely powerful. When we are using our oils aromatically in a diffuser, we never want to heat up our oils. So it's just water and oil. You plug it in, press the on button, and the ultrasonic vibrations in the diffuser will disperse the oils perfectly throughout the room. So it's a great way to use the oils. Topically is another great way to apply the oils. Try to get it to the closest place of discomfort. So if you have a headache, you could apply the oils to your temple. If you're having tension in your shoulders, if you deal with arthritis or any kind of tendon or ligament pain in your legs or arms or hands, applying the oils. Remember I had talked about our sense of smell. One of the reasons I love to apply the oils to my kids is because I feel like I'm also creating a really nurturing memory for my kids. So as I'm applying the oils before bed, whether I'm using Serenity or Balance, I'm not only calming them down and shutting down their senses and telling them to be quiet and relax, but I'm also creating like a really nurturing environment for my kids. So when they smell those oils later in life or in a few years or next week, it's going to have a positive memory for them that's very soothing and very calming and peaceful. So that's topically. There are a few oils that are considered hot oils. They're not necessarily hot in temperature, but they will cause some skin sensitivity. So having something like a fractionated coconut oil is great to cut down on some of the sensitivity. And we'll discuss some of those hot oils in a little bit. And the last way that I love to use our oils, which is very specific to doTERRA, is internally. Our oils are safe to be used internally if they do have the supplement facts on the bottle. I love to cook with our oils. I love to drink them in my water. I love to apply them under my tongue. I love to rub them on the roof of my mouth. I love to put it in a veggie capsule, and we're going to discuss later some DIY medicines that can replace medicines in your medicine cabinet to keep you healthy. And like I said, in the veggie capsule, you can put it in the empty veggie capsule and take it like a pill. Those are some of the ways that we can use our oils internally. I'm sorry, I know that was a lot of information, but I just wanted to give you guys a little quick overview before we delve into the specific protocols. So Heather's going to walk us through the wellness triangle. So without further ado, Ms. Heather Wagner.
Hey guys. Have to bear with me. I actually have been living all of the stuff that Louisa has been talking about just the past few minutes because I've been dealing myself with a terrible head cold and I still sound a little bit nasally. So bear with me if I sound kind of funny tonight. But yeah, definitely. I know you guys probably earlier today, if you were on social media and saw, how to get on this class tonight, you may have seen the graphic that we posted that contained these sort of building blocks. I'm going to try to share my screen here if I can figure it out. Give me 1 second and kind of give you an idea. All right. Can everybody see that okay? Are you getting like the entire screen or just the picture? Okay. So you might have seen this graphic that we posted earlier today that contained these sort of building blocks, right? And it's what we like to refer to as the wellness triangle. I brought up the point from the very beginning of life. What I typed it earlier on Facebook. Louisa, I don't know if you can help me out. There's a lot of background noise somewhere. I'm having a hard time being able to hear without or making. I feel like I'm yelling. I feel like a vacuum cleaner's going somewhere. Maybe. Okay. Sorry. There we go. That helped. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So the wellness triangle, sorry, getting back to this. I brought up the point earlier that, from the very beginning of life, it seems like we're always just kind of by default in the pursuit of trying to be healthier. And I know as a parent for myself, even from the very beginning of knowing that I was expecting a child, I've always been just really intensely focused on doing what I believe to be the best for the health of my children while I was carrying them, the things that I wanted to go on during my birth experience, everything, just all included in doing what was going to be healthy for my kids. And I put a lot of energy, even now, into the habits that I try to model for them as I'm trying to teach them, how to take care of themselves. And I really believe that healthy doesn't happen by accident. It happens as a result of the things that we choose every day. And so I wanted to give you guys an opportunity. We kind of brought up the idea earlier, but to kind of gauge yourself, just kind of on a scale of 1 to 10, ask yourself where you would find yourself based on on all of these building blocks that are kind of leading up to building and making up this triangle. Obviously, everything starts on a foundation of what we put in our bodies and the way that we nourish ourselves. So, excuse me, take a minute and just kind of revisit this photo. And even if you want to kind of type in the chat box and let's just kind of talk back and forth a little bit about this. Give me some numbers, on a scale of 1 to 10. Where do you think that you find yourself when it comes to how you're eating, if you're eating right, or maybe how your kids are eating? Maybe on exercise, how would you gauge yourself on the amount of rest that you're getting and the way that you manage your stress, reducing your toxic load. One of the things that I think of when it comes to reducing our toxic load is basically like the amount of chemicals that we're using in our homes to clean them, or like what kind of things are we putting on our skin, whether it's our makeup or our skincare. Just the sort of things that we're using in our homes, even in our toothpaste and our hand soaps. What kind of choices are we making when it comes to the products that we're using? And so let me go back to my, get off the screen share there. A couple people have responded here that resting and managing stress is difficult. That was Louisa. Managing stress for Kim as well. Right. And so if you guys didn't find yourself, saying that you scored like around an 8 or a 9, why would you think that it would be important to try to find ways to get those numbers up? If you're a lot of people, I feel like a lot of answers that we get are more like 4s and 5s, which is only really about halfway to being, where we feel like we should want to be. Patricia says it's tough to sleep. So the reason we bring that up is just to kind of present to you, we're going to talk about some things that can help bring those numbers up and help us to then accomplish the health goals. So I'm going to kind of share some habits that we've adopted in our family. Obviously, we're nowhere near close to perfect, but they have definitely gotten us closer to being where we want to be. And so just kind of teach you guys some ways that you can bring those numbers up. It's like Louisa said, kind of the overlying topic of tonight's call is ways that we can deal with like common but occasional illnesses during this time of year that's commonly known as just cold and flu season. And so one of the biggest ways, since we saw on the bottom of that triangle, eating right, one of the biggest ways that I try to deal with it is really from a prevention standpoint. We've been pretty successful in our attempts. I'd say in the past 3.5 years, we've only had well visits to our doctor. And that isn't because we haven't necessarily been facing things. We've just learned how to deal with them and treat them using essential oils as our go-to. And so, other than we actually got to go to the ER and have staples in my 9-year-old's head last year, but we did oil her still. We just wanted to make sure that her brains weren't falling out while we were oiling her skull with the staples in them. So, but aside from that, pretty much just well visits. So one of the biggest ways that I'd like to try to target that though is through the way that we eat. I do like to cook with my oils a lot. However, one of my biggest goals is that there is some sort of raw food. We drink raw milk, or we'll have just like fresh fruit with breakfast, or a fresh raw vegetable at lunch. So really making a big emphasis on the way that we eat, right? That's one way that we try to come at this as far as prevention is concerned. But then I would say the other really big thing that we do is the way that we use essential oils in our home on a daily basis. So I made some notes here so that I wouldn't forget them. So bear with me today while I look down at the things that I typed out. A few different ways that we use essential oils on a daily basis. One of the biggest ways is that we diffuse. We diffuse oils in our home for lots of different reasons. It could be that we're trying to fight germs. It could be that we are trying to just help manage our moods. It could be that we're trying to help everybody get a better night's sleep, because inevitably, if we get better rest, then our immune systems are going to be stronger and we're going to be able to fight off more germs and more illness that tries to come along. So I wanted to give you guys kind of some examples of the things that we diffuse. For example, if we're going for germ fighting for the moment, we're going to diffuse things like On Guard, maybe just clove, cinnamon, lemon, purify, oregano, thyme, frankincense. I know I went through those kind of fast, but really it's hard to go wrong when you're wanting to diffuse essential oils for their germ fighting benefits, because so many of them are designed for the plant that they come from to help do that for the plant itself. And so, but I would say personally in our home, some of our biggest go-tos are going to be things like On Guard and oregano or frankincense. If we're trying to encourage better rest, I'm going to diffuse things like lavender or serenity. Those two are very calming. And we actually have, for those of you who might be new to doTERRA, we have a brand new product called the Serenity Restful Complex. And so it's actually a soft gel that you can, I know some of you guys are talking about it over here in the chat box, that they're actually designed to work together. And so you take the soft gels internally, and then you would use the essential oil on the bottom of your feet in a diffuser. Any of those ways would be really great to help get a better night's sleep. So getting better sleep is one great way to boost our immune systems to help prevent sickness from being able to have a hold on us. And then really for mood management, anytime we can manage our stress and manage our things like that, we're going to diffuse things again like Serenity, maybe Balance. Wild Orange is my favorite citrus oil, but any citrus oil that you would like to diffuse would be great for mood management as well. There's also an entire line of aromatherapy oils that not only to diffuse, but you can also then use them topically on our bodies. So moving into the idea of topical use, part of our bedtime routine here in our home, when we are, putting on pajamas, brushing our teeth, it's roll your feet. And so we're going to use some combination in our house of On Guard when we're using oils to try to prevent sickness from coming around. Sometimes we'll switch it up, maybe around Christmas time, or as it gets more into fall, we'll use the Holiday Joy blend that we can always get around Christmas time. Or maybe we'll switch it up to maybe using Arbor Vitae or Melaleuca, frankincense, or lemon. Any of those are really great at germ fighting, at their cleansing and detoxifying properties. But using essential oils as part of our bedtime routine is one way that we really try to come at things from a preventative standpoint. Another great way to encourage prevention, we've talked about On Guard a lot. I'm going to keep talking about it. We have On Guard beadlets or On Guard Plus soft gels, which actually have the On Guard blend in them, but then additional things like Melissa essential oil or oregano essential oil. And so using things like that on a daily basis are going to be great ways, again, just to keep our immune systems built up, give our bodies the things that they need to be able to fight things off. Last thing probably I would mention on the prevention standpoint is this, if you're not using a supplement, is that our Lifelong Vitality Pack supplements, in addition to our probiotic PB Assist. A lot of you have heard, I'm sure, that health starts in the gut. And so when we're feeding our guts good, healthy bacteria that it needs, then our guts are able to also fight off germs, fight off illness much more effectively. So we're going to use things in our home like the Lifelong Vitality Pack, like PB Assist, even things like Terrazyme, which is a digestive enzyme that is going to help help our bodies break down the food that we eat so that we get the nourishment that we need from it. for our kids, the A to Z chewable supplements, and then the PB Assist Junior, a probiotic specifically designed for our kids to be able to take really easily and love. Like, it tastes like a pixie stick. My son is 6 years old, and I don't know that he knew the word probiotic before September of this year, but as soon as I came home from convention, he literally tells me every day, Mom, I took my probiotic, and he's really excited about it. So it's funny to hear my 6-year-old say probiotic every single day now. One more thing, I feel like I've said the word On Guard like 20 times in just the past maybe 10 minutes that I've been talking. It has been mentioned a lot already, but I also want to mention that it has like an entire line of products with the essential oil built into it. So there's a laundry detergent. So I'm washing my clothes in On Guard, and like, to give you an idea of the power of On Guard, I would encourage you to maybe dig a little bit deeper and do a little bit more reading for yourself. Hop over to pubmed.gov and just look up the On Guard study on that website to really find out why we're so crazy about On Guard. It can go into a little bit more depth than probably all the things that I would like to say on here, because we're going to post this recording on our pages later. But it's going to you're going to be able to wash your clothes in On Guard. So I have an 11-month-old. She crawls around my house all the time. She's on the floor, and we're not always perfect at taking off our shoes. So I love being able to know that I'm washing her clothes in On Guard. There's toothpaste. So we're brushing our teeth with On Guard. There is a cleaner concentrate. So we're cleaning our home with On Guard. I keep a spray bottle of water and On Guard by my kitchen sink, and I spray down things on a regular basis when I'm cleaning my kitchen. There's a hand soap so there's an entire line of products that if we are just trying to live preventatively, fight off germs and keep stuff away, then I'm going to have all the On Guard in my house, and just find all different ways that I can use that stuff. I see some questions over here. Louise has been fielding most of them, but Patricia asked that she's been doing the soft gels the last couple of times that she's been sick for sure, and she wanted to know how many to take. So I think Louisa is actually going to kind of move into I've been talking about prevention, but she's going to kind of talk with us now about ways that we're going to use our oils when maybe something goes ahead and hits us instead. I know her daughter is all 3 of her girls have had a stomach bug for the past week. She's been up to her elbows and you know what.
Yes.
Why don't you take it from here, Louisa?
Well, since I probably smell like vomit at this point, I might as well talk about it. My kids have all been sick this week. It's been rough, to say the least. 3 kids, and they've all passed it around. So gotta love being Brazilian and kissing and hugging even when we're sick. So I want to talk to you guys about some different ailments that we deal with all year round, but specifically this time of year, it seems like there's so much junk that goes around. So I want to start talking about fevers. I know we all deal with fevers, whether you have little ones or you're older. I make a roller that I leave in my medicine cabinet that has equal parts of lavender, peppermint, and frankincense. Lavender is very calming. When you have a fever, you have that achy body sensation. So lavender is going to help with some of that discomfort. Peppermint is great for cooling the body, bringing the temperature down. Peppermint even has that cooling sensation on your skin. Frankincense is just a powerhouse oil that's going to boost the immune system. It's very antiviral. It's also going to restore any damaged cells, but to restore them to better health. So if you have, if your body's fighting something, then the frankincense is going to be great to boosting the immune system. So that's my fever blend. I want to talk a little bit about coughing. When we're coughing, my goodness, nobody can sleep, whether it's a dry or wet cough, whether it's a tickle in your throat, allergies. It's just frustrating, especially, and it never fails. The second you hit your head on that pillow, then the cough is like relentless, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit about dry cough. Some oils that I love to use for a dry cough is black pepper, very antiviral, and it does not smell. People are always like, but for a cough, I feel like black pepper would make me cough more. It does not smell like the spice or even come close to it. It has actually kind of a sweet smell. Balance is great. A lot of people think of that as a mood oil, and it is very grounding, but because it has a lot of the wood oils in there, cedar wood, hoe wood, Those oils are also very calming, so it'll calm that restless, dry cough. Eucalyptus is a great cough suppressant. Lavender, also very soothing to the lungs, and Breathe. And I'm going to also talk about all of the Breathe products in a little bit. When you're dealing more of a wet cough, that like mucusy cough, myrrh, it's a great oil because myrrh actually dries up mucus. Marjoram is an expectorant, so it's actually going to help break up that mucus and get it out of the lungs. Lime is great. Any of our citrus oils are amazing for breaking up mucus, especially stubborn mucus that likes to stick to your lungs. And then Breathe again. And like I said, I'm going to go into Breathe a little bit more thoroughly in a minute. My family, we've been dealing with a stomach bug all week, so I'm actually an expert in this one right now. DigestZen is our digestive blend. It's a combination of 7 oils that are all great for fighting any kind of digestive system. But the stomach bug, when you're dealing with that cramping in your stomach, whether you have diarrhea or you're throwing up, DigestZen not only is soothing to help you with the discomfort, but it'll also help detox your body and help your digestive system regulate. Ginger is great, whether you're just smelling the bottle. I've been diffusing ginger in my home all week. Lemon is very detoxing. It boosts your immune system. It's also a very happy oil. So, when you don't feel well, you don't feel happy. So lemon is also not only great for helping with nausea and discomfort that way, but it's a happy oil. Peppermint. If any of you have ever used Pepto-Bismol, Pepto-Bismol is basically they took the copycat that God created for us, the peppermint plant. They've made a synthetic form in the lab, and then they've created Pepto-Bismol. So peppermint is amazing for digestive discomfort. Stomach bugs are often a virus. So arbovitae and clove are our 2 strongest antiviral oils. So those are 2 oils that you definitely want to be diffusing and applying if you're dealing with a virus. And then sinus junk, like Heather's been dealing with all week. I know there's some questions popping up, and I'm sorry, Heather, you're going to have to take them for me. I can't read them. But so sinus, it's like all that pressure in your head. I love, love, love to make sinus steamers. A really popular recipe is just oregano, melaleuca, peppermint, and lemon. You just want to boil a mug of hot water. You can put a drop of each. I highly recommend closing your eyes. The oregano is extremely strong and potent. It'll hurt your eyes. And a variation for breastfeeding moms that are hesitant about using peppermint is rosemary and Breathe and thyme. So that's a steamer that's great for a breastfeeding mama that's worried about the peppermint. Thyme, rosemary, and Breathe. It also works really, really well for a sinus steamer. Applying DigestZen over your sinus cavities. I know it sounds funny because it's a digestive blend, but applying it over your sinus cavities is really great for breaking up that discomfort in your face from the sinus pain. I want to talk briefly about a few recipes that I love to make at home. We call it DIY meds, DIY meds. And I had kind of forgotten about these, and I'm so glad that Heather reminded me of them. The first one is it's called Mama's Magic Bullet. And basically what it is, it's a recipe when you're just trying to knock out that crud that is not wanting to leave you. And I'm going to say the recipe kind of slow in case any of you want to write it down. It's 3 drops of On Guard, frankincense, oregano, and you make a capsule with it. And if you're not sure what a capsule is, doTERRA sells empty veggie capsules that you literally just pop open, you put the drops inside, and you take it like medication. If there's green snot that's present, then you want to go ahead and add 3 drops of melaleuca as well. And I love that recipe. I've used it multiple times. If I feel like I'm getting a fever or achy body and I know I'm going to get sick, I start doing Mama's Magic Bullet, and sure enough, it knocks it right out. It really is magical. I want to talk briefly about liquid morphine. I was in a car accident in March of last year, so 2 years ago, 2014, and my knee went right into the dashboard. I was breastfeeding at the time. I could not take any of the painkillers that were recommended to me. And so I went home and I researched what I could take instead for the pain. And there's a recipe that I found called liquid morphine, and it is equal parts of lemongrass, frankincense, oregano, or marjoram, which is a great recipe because you can almost all of them are in our Home Essentials or Family Physicians Kit. And I was just taking that every 3 hours with food. I highly recommend taking oregano internally with food because it can make you a little queasy. It's a very strong oil. And in 2 days, my knee was looking so much better. The doctor said I would not be walking for a week, but I was walking. I was also applying Deep Blue to my knee, and it really, really worked as a painkiller. So I was amazed at how well it worked. So those are some of the recipes. Does anybody have questions? Go ahead and type them on here if you guys do have questions. Any questions? Yes, you can apply neat. Some people think that the wintergreen and the peppermint's a little spicy to the skin. So you could always dilute it if you need to. We have the amazing touch rollers that I think are amazing for this time of year, especially like I went through basically all of my touch rollers that I had this week. I was by myself with the 3 kids and they were all needing different things. Somebody was throwing up, somebody had a fever, somebody was uncomfortable, somebody had cramping. I was not having time to remake my rollers or think about what I needed to do. And so I was so blessed to have the touch rollers. If you have not used the touch rollers, they are just pre-diluted rollers. Basically all the oils except for lemon in our home essentials or our family essentials kit. And it's just so convenient. I was applying oregano to their feet. I wasn't worried if it was going to burn or if it was too spicy or causing sensitivity. I was applying peppermint all week long for their fevers, On Guard to their bellies, On Guard to their spine. It just made it extremely convenient for a busy mom that's trying to take care of multiple kids. So I highly recommend the Touch line if you are not using it yet. doTERRA just now also launched all of our Touch line in our emotion oils. And as moms and as women in general, we need that emotional support as well. So having it in a touch roller is extremely convenient. I want to talk just briefly about Breathe. I had mentioned Breathe to you guys. It's a respiratory blend and it just does not fail in the wintertime. It's either congestion or it's colds or it's mucus or cold air or dry air. Breathe just helps us breathe easier. It boosts oxygen to the brain. It opens our airways. It opens our lungs. doTERRA has it in a 15 ml in our respiratory blend. It has it in the touch roller, like I mentioned. And I'm sorry, my respiratory drops are in my car, but we do have it in a respiratory drop. So it's like a cough drop that you can just keep in your purse. And it has all of the oils in our Breathe blend, but it also has additional Melissa. So it's an additional immunity boost in our Breathe drops. We also have a Breathe stick, which is kind of like a gel, looks kind of like a deodorant. I'm sorry, it's in my daughter's room. She's sleeping. And it just makes it extremely convenient to apply to, especially to a kid's chest in the middle of the night. It's similar texture to like a Vicks Vapor Rub, but without all the junk, all the petroleum that comes in the Vicks Vapor Rub. So I love our Breathe products and I use them daily. Even to exercise, I love to bring Breathe products with me if I'm going for a jog or something like that. So I'm going to let Heather talk briefly about our loyalty rewards program. And then I'll go ahead and tell you guys how you some different ways that we can get our precious oils. So back to Heather.
I'm answering a question for Patricia. She asked that if I'd been using marjoram and or myrrh for my sinuses. And you know, when it comes to my sinuses, for me, I feel like On Guard, lemon, and ginger. I love to put those in a tea. For me, I can sit there and I can inhale them, and then I can sip the tea, and I'm getting like all the therapeutic benefits at once. And I actually posted a picture of it the other day, and I said, you know, sip, inhale, repeat, or inhale, sip, repeat, or something like that, because it's almost like an edible steamer. If I'm not going to drink it, I'll put oregano in there, but I'm obviously not going to drink the oregano if I want a comforting tea that's going to kind of calm things down. But if I were having actual like chest congestion, Patricia, that's probably when I would go for the marjoram and the myrrh. But just for my sinuses and trying to get this stuff to drain out, the ginger, On Guard, and lemon really seem to work great for that. And again, it's probably something that's just, I like those in my tea also. So it's something I don't mind the taste of. It's actually enjoyable for me. And that's, so since it works, that's probably why I go for those. Were you going to say something else, Louisa?
I was going to say that also when we're dealing with sinus stuff, it's a lot of mucus trapped inside of our head, literally our facial cavity. And we have openings to those cavities inside our mouth. It's called our mucous membrane openings. And so when you're applying essential oils internally, whether you're applying it inside your mouth or like Heather said, And our saliva has enzymes that breaks down the essential oils. So when you're drinking the tea of essential oils, our saliva is breaking down those oils and our body is receiving them in a broken down form, which is another reason why you absolutely want to be using them internally if you're dealing with junk. Because, and especially sinus, like when you're drinking the tea, it goes into the mucus cavities in our mouth and it's helping deal with what's going on in your face. So
it's so fast.
yeah,
It's so fast.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know personally for me, and I know we're getting stuck on this whole sinus thing, but if I were to get this before, like pre-oils, it would be 2 or 3 weeks before mine would completely clear up. And this has been 5 days and I'm almost over it. 5 days start to finish, probably only 2 days that I felt like it was, at the worst. So to kind of give you some hands-on experience since I'm walking through the end of it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did want to go ahead and, since we have a few minutes, we're going to take some questions in a minute, but go ahead and kind of introduce some of you guys that may be new to what is called our loyalty rewards program. And it is, just like the title calls it, it's a reward, and they're rewarding us for our loyalty, for our just coming back, to them every month. I like to really invite people to kind of think through the things that are, sorry, I'm having issues on my computer. Kind of think through things that you're finding in your home already. And they're things that I kind of mentioned at the beginning of our talk: hand soap, shampoo and conditioner, laundry detergent, your toothpaste. Things that, especially when I think of hand soap or like hand sanitizer, I don't know if anybody noticed in the past few months, but the FDA is finally jumping on board with all of us crunchy mamas and agreeing with us, saying, yeah, those ingredients in that hand sanitizer that we're calling antibacterial, those are actually really bad for our bodies, specifically our endocrine systems. And so over the course of the next year, those, you're not going to see those anymore. Not at least with, I'm sure they'll try to find replacement ingredients, but you're not going to be seeing those anymore being first on our shelves. Well, the great thing that we have going on here for us with doTERRA and the Loyalty Rewards program is that, like, I would invite you guys to think through the things that you have in your homes that you can go through and replace with better products that are essential oil based. And so Loyalty Rewards is this amazing program. Think of it kind of like frequent flyer miles, where when we are purchasing the stuff that we're already using in our homes on a regular basis anyway, they're going to reward us back with points every single month. If we do place, there's never a minimum order requirement, but if we do place, depending on what we want our participation to be, if we place a minimum 125 PV order, and I'll explain PV in a second, but if we place that every month by the 15th, then we're getting free product every month. Louisa mentioned rosemary earlier being great for having great respiratory benefits. And on my LRP this month, I'm getting free rosemary. That's not to mention a lot of other free product that I'm getting because of points that I was able to turn in and get free product from. Every month that I purchase on Loyalty Rewards, I have been involved for such an amount of time now that I'm actually earning 30% back on everything that I order every month. Now, when you start out, you start at 10%, but every quarter that jumps up until after a year, you're earning 30% back. So if we're just using round numbers, let's say you had a 100 PV order and you're sitting at 30%, well, that's $30 that's going to go back into an account, a little bank of points that doTERRA has set aside for you. But then in addition to that, they're going to reimburse your shipping charges 100% also into that bank of points. And so it's just an amazing, echoing there. It's just an amazing program that I've loved being a part of. I know if I go into a store, they're not going to reward me with 30% back on my purchases every single month. And I'm getting better stuff. I'm getting stuff that is safe. It's natural. It's extremely effective. And I can be very just proud and feel good about knowing that I'm using this stuff on my family, and then it's stuff that it's going to be good for them. And then I get a great, return on my investment and that kind of stuff as well. So loyalty rewards, it's the only way to go when you have a wholesale account with doTERRA. There's really no other reason to order any other way than through loyalty rewards. Louisa, did I cover it all? I kind of just shot from the hip there.
I thought it was perfect. I loved it. You did. You covered it all. I want to briefly talk about, I know we have some guests on the call, and I know that some of you have already mentioned that you want to share this video, which there will be recording later tonight, with other people in your life that you know need to receive the benefits that doTERRA has to offer. So I just want to briefly talk about a few different ways that you can receive doTERRA's essential oils. If you are on this call, it's probably because you were invited by someone who is a wellness advocate. And by being a wellness advocate, there's a few different ways to get there. So the first route is, well, let me say, there is actually my least favorite way to purchase the oils is via retail. So you could go on the website of the person that invited you, and you could pay full price for the product and not earn free shipping or the benefits that Heather mentioned with the loyalty rewards program. But I care about you, and I want you to have the best benefits that doTERRA has to offer. And so I would highly recommend going the way that you're going to save the most money, which is with a wholesale membership with doTERRA. So there's two different ways. Either you can spend $35, and if you made a little list of some of the oils that we talked about tonight, and you could see benefits in having those in your home, and you saw how they could transform your cold and flu season, you could pick and choose some of those oils, which is an amazing way to go. An even better way is to look over some of the kits that doTERRA has to offer. doTERRA has put together specific kits that have our most popular oils. It's the most bang for your buck. You're saving money by purchasing them in a bundle. We have our Family Essentials kit. We have our Home Essentials kit. Our Home Essentials is amazing because you're getting the full-size bottles plus a free diffuser. And then the kits go up from there. And there's some other amazing kits for you to look over. By choosing to be a wellness advocate, like a lot of us on this call, you will be receiving 25% off every single time you order. Through our loyalty rewards program, you'll have free shipping. You'll also earn points back every single time you order, like Heather mentioned, that are like similar to frequent flyer miles. So you'll turn in those points for free product. And quite honestly, what the biggest benefit to me as a wellness advocate is just having a community to be a part of. When I joined doTERRA, I had a lot of questions. I didn't know how to use all of my oils. I still don't know how to use all of my oils, and I'm constantly learning. But I love having a team to be a part of. There's team pages that you can go on, and you can ask questions, and immediately you will have people responding to your questions on how they personally have used the oils. You will have people walking alongside you that will share the journey with you. If you make the choice to then share with other family members as a wellness advocate, doTERRA gives you a free website and the support of the team to help you share that journey. For myself, for Heather, there's other people here on the call. doTERRA has become the only thing that we do for an income, and it's been an extreme blessing to my life as a mom of 3 to be able to provide a wonderful life for my kids, just sharing the gift of doTERRA. And so I hope that you choose this journey with us. I hope that we see you on the team pages the days to come, and that your life will start to change. I want to share a really brief story that I wasn't planning on sharing, but I want to share because we have a few minutes. There is a girl that enrolled a few months ago, and she ordered the Family Essentials kit, and she is a mom of 4 boys, and she had ordered a kit, and she was kind of waiting for that aha moment. She had heard so many successful stories in the class, but when her kit came, there wasn't really anything going on in her life that she felt that she could use them. She was almost hoping somebody would get sick in her family so she could put her oils to test. But that night, she went to bed. She had done the laundry. She had cooked the meal. She was exhausted. Any of us are moms know at the end of the day, all we want is our kids to go to bed. Well, her 12-year-old came into the bedroom, and she was trying to go to sleep. And she was like, of all kids that should be awake should not be my 12-year-old. She was expecting maybe the toddler or the 4-year-old, but it was her oldest son. And he sat on the edge of the bed and started chatting with her. And she was like, what's going on? What's the matter? And because she was half sleep deprived, she let him kind of sit there and chat with him. and he started opening up to her. And for those of you who have boys, know that it's not very common for a 12-year-old boy to sit there and open up to his mama. They're kind of in that stage where they want to be cool. They don't really want to open up and have a teary moment with their mama. But he started sharing that he was struggling with bullying at school. He was being bullied. And for a few months, he had been being bullied, but he just didn't have an opening to share with his mom. And she saw that the lavender was sitting on the side of the bed. So she started applying lavender to his feet, and she put some drops in her hand and told him to take some deep breaths, and applied some to his neck and to his chest. And she saw that he was like starting to relax and to just feel calm. And, they had a moment where she shared with him and they talked, and eventually he drifted back to sleep, and she let her 12-year-old sleep in between her and her husband that night, which he hadn't done since he was a little boy. And so then we were chatting about the oils, and she said, you know what I did not expect as a gift from purchasing my kit was that I was going to have moments to have physical contact with my boy and with my husband and with my kids. We live in a day and age where, we're in front of our phones, in front of the TV, in front of, we're always on the go, and we don't always have time to love on our family. And she said that, yes, the lavender was very calming and soothing to her son, but she was given a memory with her son that she wouldn't have had if she hadn't taken the time to apply the oils to him and to give him a little massage and to soothe him both emotionally and physically. And that's what I hope you guys grasp from tonight, that yes, there's so many benefits physically, and it will boost your immune system. And yes, it will prevent cold and flu season, but saying yes to the gift of doTERRA changes every aspect of your life, both emotionally and physically. And you will see changes in your family that you may not have expected. Just like this mom did not expect to have a very sweet and tender moment with her almost teenage boy, because she took time to apply the oils and create a nurturing memory with him. So I so appreciate all of you taking time. I know we're all busy, taking time to be with us here on the call. We had 22 people on the call tonight, and I think that's wonderful. Please be in touch with the person that invited you. And if you have any questions, we would love to take some questions before we close out the night. You can unmute yourself, or you can chat, or whatever is good for you. Christy is saying these oils are so versatile. They have changed our lives for the better. Yes. Very true. Everybody's okay? No questions? Heather, do you have anything?
I think that pretty much covers everything that I had planned to talk about tonight. I hope that it was helpful for everybody. Making sure that nothing else. Yeah, more comments. Yeah, Christy, I agree. Oh, Christy Hughes says it was a good reminder to fuse rosemary. I had put that over in the chat box that if I'm sitting down to learn or study or read, I love to diffuse rosemary. So for those of you maybe that are already on LRP and you're getting your rosemary this month, maybe if you've not really learned new ways to use that yet, definitely anytime you're sitting down to study or focus or read, rosemary is great for memory and memory retention. And so I highly encourage diffusing that one for times like that. So yeah, otherwise, if no one else has any questions, then
lavender and lemon smells really good diffused too. It's very homey and soothing, and lavender, lemon, and rosemary smells amazing.
Does anyone have a recommendation? Patricia asks for a favorite diffuser, one that has a long run time and a large area of coverage. I will be honest and say I have not ventured out very far from doTERRA on diffusers. I have had some other ones in the past, but my favorite one is probably the Aromalight. And I don't even know about coverage off the top of my head, but I know that I love it because it runs 8 hours at night. And so I can turn it on and go to sleep, and it's going to run all night while I sleep. I do, though, there's a great lady on one of our sister legs. Her name is Debbie Clegg. Christy Gonzalez says the Aromalight covers 500 square feet. Thank you for that. But Debbie has, Louisa, help me. Christy, you might know this too. Her website is diffuserdebbie.com. I'm not sure if it's up and running yet, but that would be an incredible resource
But
It's not up
soon.
and running yet.
But soon.
Yeah, diffuserdebbie.com. I'm typing it into the chat box. Keep an eye out for that website. Check back with it in coming weeks, because if you're not going to find better customer service. And honestly, her prices are amazing as well. And so she's going to have a great product for you there. So.
And there's a question here, but it says, I'm nervous about holding my first class. How do I get them enrolled? Can we touch base after the class? Is that good? Because I would love to chat with you more in depth to help. Is that good, Lila? Is it Leela or Lila? I'm sorry. Let me unmute you. She's like, I'm talking, but. Sorry,
It's
go ahead
Lila.
now. Lila. It's a beautiful name. Okay, perfect. I'm going to touch base with you when we hang up. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I think we're good. Nobody has questions? All right, well then we're going to end the recording. Thank you so much again for everybody for being on, and I'm praying that everyone has a really healthy and happy cold and flu season, and that we come out on the other end, that we survive, right? Without all that junk. Okay, so good night. Love y'all. I'm gonna end it.
Good night.